The Zephyrian delegation had been studying humans for 3 standard cycles now, and their conclusions were unanimous. These bipedal mammals were absurdly fragile. Dr. Kethera, the expedition's xenobiologist, had documented their weaknesses extensively in her reports to the High Council. "Their skin tears at the slightest pressure," she had written. "Their bones break under minimal stress. They require constant atmospheric pressure, specific temperature ranges, and die without water for mere days. Most peculiar of all, they seem to leak salt water from their optical organs when experiencing emotional distress. The Zephyrians, with their crystalline exoskeletons and ability to survive in the vacuum of space for short periods, found human physiology baffling. How had such delicate creatures ever survived long enough to develop space travel?" Commander Vextul shared Dr. Kethara's bewilderment as he observed the human research station on Kepler 442b through his ship's viewports. The facility housed a joint scientific mission studying the planet's unique electromagnetic phenomena. 12 humans worked alongside 8 Zephyrians, though the aliens had insisted on separate quarters after witnessing humans' disturbing habit of shedding skin cells and hair constantly. "They're like walking bags of water," Lieutenant Kethin had remarked after their first diplomatic dinner. "I'm amazed they don't simply burst." The research station sat in a valley between 2 active volcanic ridges, chosen for its proximity to the electromagnetic anomalies they were studying. The location provided fascinating data, but it also meant living with the constant threat of seismic activity and occasional lava flows. The Zephyrians had suggested relocating multiple times, but the humans had insisted the risk was manageable. Dr. Sarah Chen, the human mission leader, had laughed off their concerns. "We've got early warning systems and emergency protocols. Besides, you should see some of the places humans live back on Earth. We're quite adaptable." Commander Vextul had noted this as another example of human illogic in his mission logs. The morning started like any other. Dr. Chen was reviewing seismic data with her colleague Dr. James Rodriguez, while the Zephyrian team conducted atmospheric readings from their sealed environmental suits. The electromagnetic readings had been unusually active for the past week, but nothing indicated immediate danger. Then the ground began to shake. "Magnitude 6.2, Dr. Rodriguez called out, gripping. His console as equipment rattled around them. "The northwest ridge is showing massive thermal signatures." Through the facility's reinforced windows, they could see orange light painting the morning sky. A new fissure had opened in the volcanic ridge, and molten rock was beginning to flow. "Toward the valley. Evacuation Protocol 7, Dr. Chen announced calmly. "All personnel to the transport bay." The Zephyrians moved with efficient haste toward the exit, their crystalline forms chiming softly as they walked. Commander Vextul noticed the humans seemed oddly calm for creatures facing certain death if they remained. As the mixed group reached the transport bay, emergency alarms began blaring throughout the facility. Dr. Rodriguez was performing a final head count when his face went pale. "Where's Marcus?" he shouted over the noise. Dr. Marcus Webb, a young geologist, had been conducting sample analysis in Laboratory C when the quake hit. The lab was in the facility's eastern wing, now cut off by a section of collapsed corridor. "The structural integrity sensors show that section is still stable," Dr. Chen said, checking her tablet. "But the lava flow will reach it in 18 minutes. The emergency tunnels?" Dr. Rodriguez suggested. "Blocked by debris from the quake." Commander Vextul observed this exchange with growing confusion. Surely the humans would accept the loss of one individual rather than risk the entire group. This was basic survival logic. "We need to go," he announced. "The volcanic output is increasing exponentially. Your colleague is already lost." Dr. Chen looked at him with an expression he'd never seen on a human face before. Her eyes hardened, and her jaw set in a way that reminded him uncomfortably of his people's warriors before battle. "No," she said simply. "Rodriguez, get everyone to the ships. I'm going after Marcus." "Sarah, you can't," Dr. Rodriguez protested. "The corridor is filled with superheated gas, and there's molten rock dripping through the ceiling breaches. Then I'll have to move fast." Commander Vextul watched in disbelief as Dr. Chen began stripping off her outer lab coat and soaking her remaining clothes with water from an emergency supply. She wrapped wet cloth around her nose and mouth, then grabbed a portable oxygen tank and a thermal blanket. "This is madness," he told her. "You'll die before you reach him." Dr. Chen paused at the entrance to the damaged corridor. Heat waves distorted the air beyond, and they could see the orange glow of molten rock dripping from the ceiling. The temperature readings on her scanner showed levels that should have been instantly fatal to human physiology. "Maybe," she admitted. "But Marcus would do the same for me. That's what humans do." Commander Vextul followed her to the corridor entrance, compelled by scientific curiosity despite his better judgment. Through his suit's enhanced vision, he watched Dr. Chen disappear into what should have been a crematorium. The heat was incredible. Even through his environmental suit's cooling systems, Vextul could feel the temperature rising. The air itself seemed to shimmer and dance. Drops of molten rock fell from the ceiling like deadly rain, hissing when they hit the metal floor. But Dr. Chen kept moving. She ran in short bursts between areas of relative safety, the thermal blanket, held over her head to deflect falling lava. When superheated gas filled a section of corridor, she held her breath and sprinted through it. Her clothes began to smoke, then char. Her hair singed. The exposed skin on her hands and face turned. Red then began to blister, but she kept moving. Commander Vextul found himself speaking into his communicator, providing real-time updates to his crew who were monitoring from their ship. "The human is... she's still advancing. Her skin is burning, but she's not stopping. This defies all biological logic." Through the facility's internal cameras, they watched Dr. Chen reach Laboratory C. Dr. Webb was unconscious, trapped under a fallen beam, but alive. Without hesitation, Dr. Chen used her remaining strength to lever the beam aside. She hoisted her colleague over her shoulder in what humans called a fireman's carry and began the journey back. The return trip was worse. Carrying Dr. Webb's weight, Dr. Chen moved slower. More lava had begun dripping through the ceiling. The air temperature had risen another 30 degrees. Her thermal blanket caught fire and she had to discard it. But she kept moving. Her body. "Temperature should have caused cellular breakdown by now," Dr. Kethara whispered over the comm. "Her blood should be coagulating. How is she still functional?" Commander Vextul had no answer. According to everything they knew about human physiology, Dr. Chen should have collapsed and died within the first 50 meters. Instead, she emerged from the corridor carrying her unconscious colleague, her clothes still smoldering, her skin severely burned, but very much alive. She collapsed only after Dr. Rodriguez and the other humans had taken Dr. Webb from her arms and confirmed he was breathing. Later, as the evacuation ships lifted off and the lava flow consumed the research station, Commander Vextul sat in his medical bay watching the humans tend to Dr. Chen's burns. She would recover fully, their medic assured him, though she would carry scars. "I don't understand," he confessed to Dr. Rodriguez. Your species is so physically fragile. How did she survive that? Dr. Rodriguez looked up from applying a regenerative patch to Dr. Chen's arm. You're not wrong about us being fragile, Commander. We break easily, we die easily, and we're not built for most of the environments we insist on exploring. Then, how? Because we're not just our bodies, Dr. Chen said weakly from the medical bed. We're not just skin and bones and blood. We're also will and love and stubborn determination to protect the people we care about. Sometimes that's stronger than physics. Commander Vextul updated his mission reports that night. Under the section on human physiology, he added a new notation. Physical capabilities may be drastically enhanced under specific emotional circumstances. Recommend further study of this love phenomenon and its effects on human performance. Parameters. But privately, he suspected that some things about humans would always remain beyond Zephyrian understanding. Some strengths couldn't be measured in pressure tolerances or temperature ranges. Some powers came from something deeper than biology. And perhaps, he thought as he watched Dr. Chen laugh weakly at something Dr. Rodriguez had said, that was what made humans far more dangerous and far more valuable as allies than anyone had initially realized. The fragile creatures who leaked salt water from their eyes were also the creatures who would walk through fire for friendship. The Zephyrians would need to revise their assessment considerably.